Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is Skinny Martha. And I just, I woke up, I had me some coffee, um, and a raisin bagel. And I just finished a cup of tea. I wrote a grant. I've made some phone calls. I've had some phone calls. And I wanted to tell y'all, clean it. Clean it, Chella. Chella. Chella, clean it. Get it clean, Chella. Clean it. Get it clean. But y'all, I wanted to tell y'all so last night, I started breathing. Let me stop. But anyway, last night, the night before last, I had got cocktailed and called the Sagittarius on the phone, who I told y'all, I like him, but he have a girlfriend, so it could never be nothing. So I just called him to talk to him because I wanted to talk to somebody. I was feeling like romantically lonely. I just wanted to, check in, say hey, blah blah blah, whoop de whoop de whoop. So he wanted to come over that night, but it was so late he didn't come over, and it was probably a good thing that he didn't come over because I was cocktailed. And this is the thing. I didn't feel like anything was gonna happen because because like typically when we do anything, I initiate it and I wasn't going to initiate anything. But because the first time we was together, he did a little munch, but it was because I initiated the munch because I like walked over and kind of like sat in his face. I raised up my dress and sat in his face. So we had been together multiple times after that, and he never did the munch. He wasn't munching, and so I felt like okay, the munching is not gonna happen anymore because you know, um, the Jamaicans, they don't really do all that. Like they don't really do the conolangus. So I was like, well, we're in no danger of having because, you know what I'm saying? He don't do that. So, I didn't really feel like nothing was going to happen because I wasn't going to initiate it, right? So, he came over yesterday and we was watching a movie together. And, I wanted to be healed. I wanted to be cuddled. So I told him he could lay down in the bed with me. And he began to like moving his head like to like he started like softly like nibbling on my breast and started like not because I still have my clothes on, so he was like nibbling through the bra, but then he started putting his head under the cover and he was going towards my empire wire like he was finna try to do a little snack time on the empire wire. And luckily I was not cocktail yesterday and I was not high either. I was sober, but he started trying to do like a little munch. Like, I'm like, okay, because he ain't seen me in 3 months because I've been out of town. So he was legit trying to munch on my box yesterday. Now, quiet is kept. I did kind of have like a little orgasm through the panties, like when he was down there doing all his little kissing on my panties, like he was kissing on the panties by the spot, and it had gave it had gave a little orgasm. She had caught a little orgasm in her panties because he had her hot and bother. But I'm glad that that happened because it really kind of like helped me to stay focused because he had got me hot because I wasn't expecting for him to give all that. I really legit wasn't expecting for him to give all that. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm not entertaining people with I'm not entertaining people with no content. Like if you want to read me and crack a joke on me, then let me go look at your page and see what we could say. Uh let me go look at your page and see what we could say about you. Like if you ain't got no content, if you ain't got no videos, if you don't have no content, then I'm not entertaining the shenanigans. I'm not letting trolls with no content come on here and jokes. Like, bitch, you gonna get blocked. But anyway, yeah. So he ended up staying till about not he lied and he told me that him and his girlfriend had broke up. But while he was over here, his phone kept ringing. So come to find out that him and his girlfriend is not broke up. You just told me you and your girlfriend was broke up, so I would let you come back over here. Cause you knew if you told me that you and her was broke up, then I would let you come back over. I let you come back over and your phone keep ringing. First you lying and saying it's your sister calling you, but it's really your girlfriend calling you, constantly blowing up your phone. So chill, no. I'm so happy that I did not do it. I'm so happy that I did not give in, that I did not pull them drawers down. I ain't pull them panties down. I ain't pull them panties down and go in. And so that's the point of the video because like me and my daughter we've been talking about a lot of things and it caused me to just like cause he's a sweet person. Like he ain't really got no money like that, you know. He ain't really like, but every time he come over here, he always, you know, have some type of offering. Like he always have, like he bring food. He bring, you know, he'll bring something to drink. He'll bring, you know, like snacks, like you know, whatever, like whatever little resources he have. He come over here and he share. And he have a sweet personality. Like he's very respectful. He's not like he don't give me like grapey vibes, like sexual assault vibes. Like he don't give me like SA vibes. Like and so I really like him as a person. Um I really do like him as a person. And I just been reflecting on my choices, you know, with the people that I attract. And I remember when I was working at this place called Nairi, I was working with, you know, I had to work with a lot of men who were dealing with addiction. And one of the men that I was working with, he looks very good now. Like, you know, you could like it's something about I don't know if everybody can do this, but it's like with me, you know, because I've dealt with addiction, because I've been incarcerated, because I've been in all of these spaces, you know, I can see potential. Like I could see your potential even when you're at your worst. Like I could see what a man will look like when he's healthy and when he's off the drugs, when he's taking care of himself. Like I can visualize it. Like I could see you strung out on drugs. I could see you doing bad. I could see you looking bad and I could visualize what you could look like if you got clean and you got yourself together. Like that's one of my gifts. Like I could see the potential. You could just tell when if a person got clean, if they got healthy, if they started eating different, you know, somebody loved on them, cared for them, nurtured them, you know, kind of like loved them back to life. You could see how they would, you know, look. You could visualize how they would look once they get their stuff together. Some people can't see that. Like they see you when if they see you while you strung out, if they see you while you doing bad, that's how they always gonna see you. They don't have the vision to see your potential even while you know having your worst days. But so when I was working at the place, we worked with a lot of people that was, you know what I'm saying, like really, really, really like deep in addiction. And so, when you're deep in addiction, it affects how you take care of yourself. It affects your quality of life because if you really invested in getting the drugs, then 9 times out of 10, you're not investing in doing these other things that are going to help you to be healthy. And so there was a couple of guys there that would go to the store and they would kind of like boost and they would, give me things. And when I get paid, I would look out for them. Like I would give them a little something to help them, give them something monetarily. We knew what they was going to go and use the money for, but at the same time, if if that's where you at, then that's where you at. I'm not gonna judge you because that's where you at. They always brought me like nice quality things, and so I will go ahead and sew into them. Because f these institutions anyway. I've always been in support of those who steal from stoves and not hoes, who steal from stoves and not bros. But anyway, steal from the industry, not your siblings. Hey, Anadia. So anyway, this one he used to always get me nice things, and it was so crazy because I had some Coach shoes that he got me, and I think I had some Coach loafers that he got me, and like some and like a scarf that he had got me, and I wore the scarf I think the day before yesterday. I took it out the closet, and when I took it out the closet, I was like, the ancestors was like, you got so much of his energy, you still got so much of the stuff that he gave you, and his energy is on it. Um, his energy is on it. Like you legit might see him. And part of me wants to see him doing well, like the other guy that I saw doing well, like that really, really just made my day to see him clean and sober. And he was like telling me thank you for how I helped him and how I made a difference in his life. So the one who got me the shoes and the one who got me the scarf, how I met him was he had OD, like he was dying, like literally they had to bring him back to life. They had to resuscitate him. So I'm standing right there, I'm like, intuitively praying in my mind, and I'm like, because he was attractive, like you could see he was attractive. He was young and he was attractive. Even in the grips of his addiction, you could tell that he was a good looking, human being. He was a good looking man. So so I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I don't want him to die. Like my little heartstrings with the getting tugged at, and I'm like praying to, the ancestors, like, please don't let him die. I'm staying by his chair. I'm kind of like rubbing his hand, and I'm not leaving his side, and I'm kind of like, talking to him spiritually, trying to will him to come out of it. And my supervisor, was like, I did a good thing because, he did end up coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? I be saying sometimes I feel like I feel like I'm a spiritual necromancer. I feel like I spiritually have the ability to resurrect the spirit. Like not necessarily resurrect the body, but resurrect the spirit. If you could resurrect the spirit and the soul, then you could resurrect the body. So I think that that's one of my gifts, is being able to spiritually, emotionally, and mentally resurrect people to wholeness. And when you have the ability to resurrect people spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, then that opens the doors for other things to happen. But first, you have to be able to speak to that spirit. You have to be able to speak inwardly to the soul and be able to resurrect those parts of that being that have been dormant, those parts of those beings that have been inactive, those parts of those beings that have not been, animated. And so, I think that's one of my gifts. So anyway, He came out of it, and when he came out of it, me and him got close, and we was cool. And I was like, the other day, I had some of his stuff that he had gave me. Like I said, I came out the closet with it, and the ancestor was like, "You gonna bump into him? You gonna see him like you saw the other one, and he gonna be doing well. And what you gonna do if he like you? What you gonna do if he pursue you or he wanna?" And I was like, I cut it off. I was like, we're not about to do that. Like like before my mind, look at the baby. I was like, before my mind could even kick into that, before my mind could even go there mentally, I was like, nah. I don't want to see him. I hope he doing all right. I hope he well, but I do not need to bump into him. I do not need that confusion in my life. I do not need that confusion in my life. I am not ready. And what I realized is he remind me of like my first crushes, like when I was like 17 and 18 years old, because for some reason I was always drawn to like the boys that used to be on dog food. Like, you know what dog food is, heroin. So I was always like, I didn't know they was on heroin because I didn't really know about drugs like that. But the boys that I was attracted to, girl, they always was on some type of dog food, girl. And in the night ward, the boys in the night ward in New Orleans, they all known for their dog food. Like a lot of them known for their dog food. And because they be on their dog food, they have like stamina. They be able to go a long time, girl. They be able to, you know what I'm saying, beat it up for a minute. When I was a younger girl, I was into all that. I was into the anal beatings. The beatings of the anal cavity. I was into the beatings. Beat this anal cavity ferociously. I was into the anal cavity beatings. But I have matured. I'm not there anymore. The stone has rolled away. But girl, I used to be in love with a boy who didn't have nail house to bring me to a homosexual girl. We'd be right there in the park on a picnic blanket. Right there in the park on a picnic blanket. Getting my anal cavity pounded. getting my anal cavity pounded by homosexual trade. Yeah, oh, wait a minute. 100% pure love on here. Baby, she come through the chat swinging that rich, ain't Ooh-wee. The Femmes settle for what they deem familiar and comfortable in their toxic and dysfunctional environments. And see, this is the other tea with that, is that we are often viewed as outcasts. We are, unless we assimilate, unless we perform, um, unless we behave in a way or align ourselves in a way that is conducive or palatable to hegemonic thinking, white supremacist thinking, colonial thinking, celebrated in a westernized lens, unless we maneuver in that way, then Picky's is pretty slim. And so, because I've always been somewhat of a rebel, because I've always been somewhat of a person who was not able to completely perform, like, yeah, I did pretty good on my transition, but mentally, I've always been suppressing wholeness. I've always been trying to fit in with the halflings, and I never was really able to get in with the halflings. And so I was always attracted to um outcast, because I was an outcast deep down inside. Like, I was able to perform enough to where I could access spaces, a lot of my male counterparts that I would end up attracting, because I'm able to communicate very well. I'm able to advocate very well. I have a lot of different talents, a lot of different gifts. I am not a violent person or a person that's always plotting, something destructive. And so I'm able to access spaces and not be perceived as a threat in a way that a lot of the men that I have attracted, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have I may have a high sexual body count, but I don't have a lot of bodies that I haven't unalived people, but I've attracted a lot of partners who have unalived people. And so I've been able to access spaces that my partners have not been able to access. And like I said, I feel like I have been attracted to them because for me in my mind, because they were not accepted by the status quo and they did not have access into certain spaces, I felt like we could build together. I felt like we could have something together. But from this recent situation that happened with, somebody, if y'all familiar with the platform, y'all know that I did a lot of documentation around this person whose name is Lonnie. And when Lonnie started this journey, Lonnie was one of the most like Lonnie was die hard for the trans community. Loved trans girls, wanted the world to know it. We followed him over the years. We followed his journey. And it's not me bad mouthing him or talking about him, because everything that I'm saying can be looked up on the channel. Like, you could literally see he said this stuff out of his own mouth. So I'm literally just repeating things he said. But if you know his history, you know that his baby mama found out that he was sleeping with trans women, and as a result, she threw a raping charge on him, and he ended up going in and out of prison most of his life because he was on probation, and he had like a lot of strict guidelines around him once he got that raping charge, and once society began to view him as a SA offender. Life became really hard for him. Well, child, I think when he did that last bid, now this is me talking. I think when he did that last bid, the system finally got to him, because before that, you saw potential. You saw he had the potential to really just be like, you know what? The system has done so much to me. It's been so harmful to me. I want to be a part of, collectively building something different. I don't, but I think the last time they got him. And when he came home this time, he haven't been back since. He is excelling in this society. He has a better job. He's making more money. He's married to he's I think he's about to get married to a female. He had a baby on the way the last time. And this was a man who said he would never be with a female again. And I mean, time heals all things. Time heals all wounds. So, I'm not putting it down. I'm not in judgment of it. I'm just saying that you can think that because these beings have been outcast, that they're going to help you build together. But the truth of the matter is, as long as they're able to fit into the construct of manhood and be seen by society as men, there's always the opportunity to backtrack and go back into the system and try to advance yourself in the system. At some point, a lot of these black men, who we call hobosexuals, like, they have the potential to defy the system. But many times, once they get old enough and they get tired, because one of the things that they never do is they never step outside of being viewed as a man. They never step outside of a reality where they don't have that cachet, that social capital of being seen as a real nigga, being seen as a man. And so are compromising their manhood. Because one of the things that he would never say is that, if he was topped or penetrated, and I don't think that, somebody going in your booty hole compromises your manhood, but according to society, if you get your cakes dug out, you get your back dug out, you have compromised your manhood. You're no longer a man. So, that's a conversation for men. I don't really know. I have never identified with the construct. I've never resonated with the construct. I don't know why getting your cookies done compromises your manhood. I don't know how it does that. I know some bloodthirsty unalivers that can take 20 pieces in their booty hole. And they are bloodthirsty unalivers. They will unalive you. They will come through your home and destroy everything in sight, and then go and take um pee pee in the booty hole all night. So I don't know where this concept of getting your cakes dug out means that you can't be psychopathic and capable of unaliving folk. Like, you can't be barbaric, psychopathic, and capable of unaliving folk. I don't know where this language comes from, because that's what y'all think manhood is. For the most part, is the ability to tap into some psychopathic, narcissistic, egotistical, barbarian, violent streak, and being able to act on that in a way where you unaliving folk. And so, to me, that's what a lot of y'all think that manhood is, which is why I guess I never resonated with it. But yeah, so I was looking at a lot of these hobosexuals, or these derelict males, as um beings who didn't have reputations to uphold, and had been cast aside by the patriarch, and had been cast aside by a hegemonic society. And so I'm thinking, hey, we could build together. Maybe we could set the captives free together. Like, we could liberate the minds together. But a lot of times, it's really just a journey for them. Like, it's like, they really just kind of like, what they call it, like, when you like, well, you could call them gypsies, or you could call them hobos, where you kind of like just travel around, and you kind of nomadic, where you don't really have like a base, and you just kind of like I like how somebody said this the other day. I think it was Leah Bad that said that that straight men, or DL men, contribute nothing to society. They contribute nothing to society. It's like they go to the fair and they ride all of the rides, and they win all of the prizes and play all the games, and then they go home and pretend like they were never at the fair. They pretend like they were never there. And that's what a lot of these men do. They get out here and they get girlfriends, and they have relationships with the trans community, and they act like they be so in love with us, but they never compromise the ability to be seen as men. They never compromise the ability to cash in on that hegemonic capital of that patriarchal capital. They protect that. They protect that image, so that they could always run back to the father, so that they could always run back to Sky Daddy, so that they could always run back to the slave master, the oppressor, big brother who's watching. They never compromise that. And in the shadows, they will bust it open. They will throw lips to the shit, head a hunter. They will do all of that, but publicly, they will always position themselves in a way where they can be forgiven and accepted back into the brotherhood. And so I'm learning that that's not somebody that I want to partner myself with. because that is a Judas. That's a Judas to my work. That's a Judas to lay lem lay lur. That's a Judas to community. And we need to be able to recognize the Judas, the betrayer. A man, a woman. Even if Trey wanna cut up and get cute with the girls will tolerate it for the sake of male attention. Hey, 100% be alive. Done escorted the punks out. Came in, escorting them out. I know y'all don't play. Period. This ain't a playground for punks. No halfling punks allowed. Some femmes are scared if they lose a piece of trade, they will never have male attention ever again, and it's sad. Homosexual men don't want to build, they just want to lay up and have. Hobosexual, okay. Facts, they just want something to fuck on and show off to other halflings. They just want to eat, sleep, shit, and fuck hoes. Hobosexuals love a cis woman that's established, even if their heart is with a sissy. You better say that. Oh, honey, they need that for their validation, and that goes to even with gay men. Like some gay men feel like they have to go and jump up and down in some biological vagina to prove their masculinity. Like some gay men who the ones who took forever to come out and to accept. It's so much deep rooted trauma, like how cis women can get penis simply because this man is trying to prove his manhood, because somehow his manhood again is tied to his ability to be able to smash some vagina, some biological vagina, some birth vagina. Like it's weird. Like don't get your booty hole done. Don't let nothing go in your booty hole. And and you're a man. So that I guess that means tops are men. You can be gay as long as you just top, then you're a man because nobody never been in your booty hole. So your manhood has not been compromised. So don't go in booty hole and be willing to smash some birth vagina every now and then. And yeah, you're a man. You're a man. You have heterosexual cis male equity in the American nightmare. The hobo punks love yapping, condemning, and projecting from phones. They don't pay the phone bills, own the house that's not theirs, in cars they don't own, and eating up food they haven't even bought. They love women with low self esteem and prey and take advantage of. You better say that. Exactly, Anandia. Especially church women or women with children. Girl, when I tell you, and they're gonna prey on the bigger girls because they know, I go through my little ups and downs with my weight, girl, but the big girls, we gonna stand beside them. We gonna stand beside them so they'll get old thick girl because they know she gonna be a homebody. They know she not gonna run the streets that much, so they could be out there in the streets, sucking his piece and taking and getting their back blowed out, and they ain't got to worry about running into her out there in them streets because she's at home taking care of them cheering and full. She just got off work. She working. She taking care of the children. She cleaning. And once she do all that, she tired. She ain't got time to run all the. She ain't got time to be running the streets. So he'll be able to be out there with that male stamina, with that manhood, honey, with that juice that come from them jewels, that halfling juice, out there running the streets, honey, and contaminating, further contaminating community with halfling juice. My God is God today. Lazy as fuck. They want to drain us and use all of our resources and discord us when we're not no use. That's my favorite type of. That's their favorite type of woman, especially the children to project on. Oh yes, and teach the children how to be toxic. Teach the children how to be toxic halflings. DL men aren't signing any petitions. They aren't marching for us. They don't even go to a queen's funeral that they was hunching on. They are weak, horny cowards. Whoo! And baby, when we finally all collectively come together and get that down in our shundai and stop thinking that because these men come lay up with you and give you a few dollars in the shadows, not even enough money to really like you ain't helping me pay no mortgage. You ain't co-signing no car, no car. You ain't co-signing for no car. You ain't co-signing no mortgage. You ain't let me use some of that credit. You might give me some money to pay a phone bill. You might give me some money to get some groceries, to get a new lace front, to get my nails done. Stuff that does not um appreciate in value. Stuff that depreciates in value. That's the stuff you'll help me get. That's the stuff you'll help me get. Because you want to make sure that I stay in my place. And that's underneath you until you feel like bottoming. Because that's the only time you're going to be beneath me. And see, that's why I got rid of my piece. Because that's the only time they want to be up under you. That's the only time you in a position of power is when he feel like surrendering his power to get his back blew out. And then after he gets his black back blew out, he wants to come back into his position of authority and remind you that he is still viewed as having the most power in this American nightmare. My God is God today. They hiding their true love at Motel 6. And staying with their co-worker at work, his co-worker's wife's apartment. I can't get with a scary hoe ass nigga. Mm-hmm. Heteronormative cis het male privilege. DL men are the piss poorish, tragic, embarrassing examples of men. Them women gon' protect them DL boyfriends at all cost. She's working a 12-hour shift at the hospital so he can go be a undercover faggy. Y'all better say that. Undercover chocolate milkman. It's a shame. It's women who know and don't care as long as he comes home. In the shadows. TS $45. TS Quick 60 comes home with chocolate covered ping and residual dried up punk juice all over his mouth. They want to call it ashy lips. They'll give you a little change, apply you with reefer and alcohol. You better say that. Meanwhile, the DL boyfriends are being the real housewives of Punkville. And that's what we're pinning today. Meanwhile, the DL boyfriends are being the real housewives of Punkville. Fa-hoo-rah, fa-hoo-rah, Punkville. Oh, yes. Are being the real housewives of proverbial Punkville, the Punk Village. Oh yes, they're staying at home. They're not in the paper. They're not in the press. They're not on the news. They're at home, hiding, hiding in the house. Oh, they're the real housewives of Punkville. So let's talk about it today. You know how the woman stay home and the woman don't have no voice and the woman don't have no opinion? Punkville is able to sustain itself from the DL men, baby. They are the housewives of Punkville. My God is God today. You better say that, sister. You better say that. And they get a little capital because guess what? Guess who hoe they is. Guess who hoe they is. They ain't even our hoe. They massa hoe. Massa give them some money because Massa gon' work their back out. Some of them getting their back worked out by Massa. Then some of them working up on the plantation for Massa. And so they get a couple of crumbs. Massa makes some opportunities in this hegemonic, monotheistic Christian, white supremacist, anti-black, anti-indigenous society. And they go out there and they get those coins, they get that change, and then they go and they take care of their beards, they take care of their female wives that they don't really love or care for, but they appreciate them because they help them to open the portal to bring some more slaves here from Master's plantation that validates them. And then they go in the shadows and they be with who helps them to really feel free, who really helps them to be themselves. And they get therapized by the trans women. They get therapized by the non-binary people. They get therapized, whether that requires them getting their back blown out, whether that requires them being around an energy that is not restricted to or governed by this westernized lens. Because see, when they come around us, they get healed because for a moment they're able to be their whole authentic selves. And so they don't just come to get their backs blown out. Sometimes that's what it looks like. Sometimes, in order to truly be free, you need a girl to go ahead and pipe you down so you could just go ahead and you could let out those feminine moans. You could do that squirming and squealing, and because now you're proving that you have capacity and that you can take, because the goddess receives and takes and carries. And so you're carrying that seed in that booty hole. You're carrying that DNA inside of you, and you're taking that ping inside of you. And so you're being therapized, you're being spiritually therapized through that activity. You're able to be your whole self. And so you could go back up on the plantation and you could get back into your role and you could continue to perform. If these men did not have the shadows so that they can go and lay up with these trans women, so that they could go and lay up with these feminine males, so that they could go and lay up with these non-binary people, and they could conduct sessions where they got to queer out and queen out, child, everything will fall apart. But see, what they're trying to do is they're trying to push us back into the shadows. That's the point of the MAGA regime. The MAGA regime is about pushing us back into the shadows. They know we're necessary. They know that we help hold all this shit together, but they want to push us back in the shadows. They don't want us to climb the social ladder. They want us to stay. They want us to be shadow weavers. They want us to be in the shadows, therapizing these men for small amounts of money. TS $40, TS $60, TS you're lucky if you get $200, TS I'm gonna buy you a new lace front, TS I'm gonna get your nails done, TS I'm gonna buy you some new whole clothes, because that's the position that I want you to stay in. That's the role that I want you to stay in. So that's definitely how this society is able to maintain itself. So they're trying to push us back into the shadows so that these halfling coward DL men, these Deluroys, with the help of these Delulu Mays and these Pygmishas, pushing us back into the shadows so that we can be the therapist behind the bush. The therapist in that dark alley. The therapist in the Motel 6 and the Super 8. Yes, the therapist. Therapize those booty hoes. Therapize them. And so we therapize them, give them a moment to be whole. And then once they leave out the door, they have to do this. And they have to come back into character. They have to get back into character. They have to get back into character. And it's like a vicious cycle so that they can do it all again. So that they could gets up on the plantation and works for Massams and brings home the bacons. And sometimes they ain't even bringing home the bacons. They sitting at home cooking the bacon for her. And then she give them an allowance. Cause he put that pipe on her really, really good. And the whole while he putting that pipe on her really, really good, he imagining being piped down himself. And how he's getting erect for her. How he's getting hard for her is he's imagining the pipe that he's giving to her being given to him. And he puts that pipe on her lovely, and he's imagining that pipe being put on him. And then she said, "Oh baby, what you need? Oh baby, how can I help you?" And then she surrendered the account, she surrendered the funds, and then he take and he divvy out those funds to his secret booty bandit lovers. Yes, in the shadows. And so sometimes it's him working. He she goes out, she gets the money from Massa. She goes out, she gets the money from Massa. She give him an allowance, and he goes into the streets. And if he's smart, he might take what she give him, and he might get him a little side hustle and find a way to flip that. So he could make it look like he's still doing what he need to do at home, while meanwhile he able to take care of some other people in the streets with the money that he flipped. So if he's smart, if he got a little hustle with him, if he got a little motion with him, he gonna flip what she gave him. He gonna find a way to flip what she gave him. Or he gonna find a way to flip what his sugar daddy who live in the closet with him. Because they have sugar daddies who live in the closet who supply these young men. It's like it's perfectly fine. You got a wife, you got an old lady, so do I. So do I. I want to keep this a secret. This is the brotherhood. I'm going to look out for you. You let me dig that bag out. I'm going to dig your back out. You dig my back out. I'm going to break bread with you. You're going to be able to take care of your wife. You're going to be able to take care of your children. And you'll have a little left over if you want to go and spread a little change throughout, Punkville, throughout Trannyville, Tranny.com. You feel me? Yeah. That's how Punk Village work. Mm-hmm. Hey, S Child. Mm-hmm. Heavy on the reefer. That's their favorite line and script is if you smoke, I got weed. Mm-hmm. That's their introduction into the start of playing in your face, soaking that blown out hole in some Epsom salt while they baby mama makes salmon and asparagus for dinner. And you gotta use some alum if you want it to get back tight. So when she look back there, she won't notice that the back has been severely compromised. Fresh mashed potatoes and gravy, honey. Mind you, they got a dispensary with dispensary weed now. So niggas, I don't want your dirt weed. After they get done breaking the homeboys' walls down. Yes, breaking down the walls, honey. LOL. Freshly mashed potatoes, dispensary weed, TS government reefer. D, as Chow said, DL punks are prison property, and the modern grape game is a minstrel show. Oh, the modern rap game is a minstrel show. You better say that. You better say that. And the prison is the government. Is the government. And they are the bitches of the government. That's right. DL punks are prison property. They belong to Massa. And the modern rap game is a minstrel show. You better say that. You better say that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. TS lingerie with meat hanging out. Girl, a therapist for they locked closets. My goddess God today. They want us to coddle and nurture their tragic acting, not patheticness of not being themselves. Ooh, TS pillow talk. TS Zelle notification 25 cent from Trade for doing like a little sexy video for Trade. Dig my back out and I'ma dig yours out. Exactly. TS TS Apple Pay. Flip flops. Yes. The gag is they need to watch straight porn, and especially the men fucking and getting hard and fucking the their beard wives. TS Viagra to get it up in their girlfriends. Fags. And TS TS hit my prostate gland, and I'm gonna show you what it really do. Yeah, yeah. TS need prostate. The TS need prostate activity. Need prostate activity. Definitely, definitely. And I was doing some research on female prostates, and it's something called a skeneal gland or something like that. But I noticed that cis women are always saying, "Oh well, he a woman, but he still got to take a prostate exam." Um, this the thing that gags me with that is that statement couldn't sound more colonial because our indigenous ancestors wasn't around here taking prostate exams. That's really something that came to be a thing through colonialism, through westernized culture. We wasn't out there sticking stuff up each other booty hole, sticking stuff, sticking stuff up people, sticking things up penises to look around up there and see if the prostate. That wasn't things that we were doing, and it was because we were healthier. Like our ancestors lived longer. I can't really say this about our Caucasian counterparts, but I can definitely say this about deeply melanated people. Like we were living 80, 90 years old without ever having a prostate exam. So y'all love giving he still got to get his prostate exam, but females have something that is similar to a prostate. So again, we're more alike than we are different. It's not the same thing, but y'all have something that's similar to a prostate that serves a similar function of the prostate. And also, nobody was getting all these exams pre colonialism. And so, really, honestly, and truly, when a lot of y'all say things like that, you really show just how indoctrinated and how colonized your mind has been. Just want to hold space for that. Just want to hold space for that. Just have a moment of honesty. Let's hold space for that because every time y'all say something, it's always given white supremacy, hegemonic, patriarchy, monotheistic Christian dogma. It's always given. This is the range. This is the space. This is the capacity in which this dialogue is rooted in. And I'm going to need more of y'all to get to expand your range, to expand your scope of thinking, to come out of that little corner in the shoebox in the back of your mind and start using that whole brain. I'm just saying. Facts. I just seen the chaser groups pushing DL punks in garter belts. Oh my goodness. The DLs arching deeper than the girls. Oh my. They never give tips to their pretend wives. Oh my. Oh my. TS limited depth. TS limited depth dialogues. Yeah. So it's a lot of that going on. So I'm getting ready for I have to start getting ready for the fish fry. But I did finish the grant today. Yay. I think I saw another opportunity to do another one. I think I'm gonna try to do that one at some point this week. But I did finish the grant today. I had made some important phone calls earlier today. I'm about to get up and start getting ready for this event because I'm pulling out on the big braided hair today, so I need to style her. And I just need to really just take some time to pull it together. And also, girl, my bodily functions is calling me, girl. I gotta pee, girl. I've been drinking tea and coffee, girl. I gotta use the bathroom. So we're going to have to abbreviate the live today. It's gonna be whitening. She frying whitening. But yeah, and I made a little bit of potato salad. So yeah, and we gonna have, girl, I already got the bottle, girl. I got a bottle of rum, girl, that I've been saving, girl. I got a bottle of rum that I've been saving, girl. Let me show you the bottle, girl. I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this dress. But girl, I got a bottle of rum that I've been saving, girl. Let me show you. That lady is coughing down. But I'm showing the people on my live this. Okay. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Oh yes, honey. That's my daughter. So see this right here. Yes, honey. Let me put it back on top of the refrigerator. Yes, girl. You see that sickening bottle, girl? I love me some rum with eggnog. Girl, it's gonna be sickening, girl. So I already got the bottle, girl, but I'm about to get ready, get up. Girl, yes, honey. I'm about to get ready to get up and start getting ready, girl. Get up and start getting ready, girl. Pulling things together, girl. And I need to start. I need to make sure my phone is fully charged. I need to make sure the mics is fully charged. I need to clean up. I need to pull everything together. So yeah. But I wanted to come on today and I wanted to talk to y'all about why we choose some of the men that we choose. And I think it's time to start playing the whole tape, ultimately, and just realizing that just because he's an outcast now or just because he's not accepted now doesn't mean that he not gonna run back to Sky Daddy. He's not finna run back to the father. He's not finna go get on his knees and start sucking spiritual penis. Amen, a woman. It doesn't mean that he's moving towards wholeness just because he's an outcast right now, just because he's being a rebel. If he's protecting that capital, that capital of being seen as a heterosexual cis man, like if he's adamant on protecting that and you can see that in how he moves, then he's probably not going to be the one that's going to help you to move into wholeness and help you to build a reality that's more sustainable and welcoming for people who do not blend into that. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. We'll light a candle tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna go live tomorrow because it's Sunday, so we'll have a longer live tomorrow. I love y'all. Down but the noun that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning. Iangani, Iyanko, Kalupalo, which means I'm a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Bound and round, both circle and square. We too speak life, so operations beware. Sending healing to those in despair, ill by bosowa, which means we come in peace, no harm to any. Lay lim lay lur. You don't have to be filthy rich to stand on business. I love y'all. Love you, S Child number 5. Love you 100% pure love. Love you, Anandia. Y'all have a beautiful day, and we'll check in tomorrow. Thank you for the purple hearts. Later, y'all.